Hello there, welcome to this tutorial. It is on logarithms. In this tutorial we are going to learn how to use logarithm tables to evaluate problems on products, division, powers and roots. So let's go. 1. Evaluate 76.12 times 4087 over square root of 841.9. Correct to 3 significant figures. We are going to arrange our work in a tabular form, then find the logarithms, and we see how we go about it. So let's go. So this is our table, the first column for number and the second column for the logarithms of the numbers. So we bring the numerator first. That's 76.12 times 4087, and we are going to find the logarithm of the two numbers. Then because of this multiplication, we then add their logarithms. The logarithm of this number has two parts. The first part is the integer part, as the number before the decimal point, and the decimal fractional part. The decimal fractional part is after the decimal point. The integer part is obtained from the power of 10 when this number is expressed in standard form. So if it is expressed in standard form, the power of 10 will be 1. With this number, the power of 10 will be 1. So that 1 is the integer part of the logarithm of 76.12. Then the decimal fractional part is obtained from the mathematical tables under the logarithms columns. So we go there on our mathematical table under logarithms. We look for 76. That's the column of x, 76 under 1. Then you go to the differences column towards the right and check the differences of 2. You add the differences of 2 to whatever you obtain from column 1 of 76. So 76 under 1 differences of 2 gives 0.8815. So from this is the logarithm of this number. We go to the second number. 3 is going to be the integer part of the logarithms of 4087, because if 4087 is written in standard form, the power of 10 is 3. So we have it as 3. We go to the logarithm tables. 40 under 8 differences of 7. That will give us 0.6115. Then from here, we add their logarithms, because if you are multiplying, you add. So we add the logarithms. So adding the logarithms, you have 5 plus 5 gives 10, write 0, carry 1. 1 plus 1 gives 2, plus the one we carried, that's 3. So we have 3 here. 8 plus 1 gives 9. 8 plus 6 gives 14. We write 4, carry 1. We place the decimal point. 1 plus 3 gives 4. Plus the one we carry 5. So we have it as 5. So we are done with the numerator. We call it numerator. So we go to the denominator. This denominator is square root of 841.9. We can write it in index form to be 841.9 to the power of half. So we now find the logarithms of 841.9. So the integer part of the logarithm is 2. So we have it as 2. The decimal fractional part is obtained from the logarithm tables. That's 84 under 1 differences of 9. So 84 under 1 differences of 9, we have it as 0.9253. So this fractional index will be used to multiply the logarithm of 841.9. So multiplying it by half, which is still the same thing as dividing by 2. So we just go ahead to divide by 2. So we divide by 2. 2.9253 divided by 2 gives 1.4627. We can do that from our calculator. So this is the denominator. So this is the denominator. Since numerator divides denominator, so if you are dividing, you subtract. So we bring the numerator and the denominator, we subtract them. In subtracting them, we have a 0 here, 7. So we borrow 1 from here, becoming 10 here. So 10 minus 7 gives a 3. Since we've borrowed 1 from here, we are left with 2. 2 minus 2 gives a 0. And 9 minus 6 gives 3. And 4 minus 4 gives 0. We place our points. 5 minus 1 gives 4. We are going to find the antilog of 4.0303. That's antilogarithms. So to obtain the antilogarithms of this number, we keep this integer part and go to the antilogarithm tables. Look for 0.3 under 0 differences of 3. So 0.3 under 0 differences of 3 gives 1073. So we now place a decimal point immediately after the first digit, then multiply by 10. We come back to this integer part, we raise it to the power of 10. So by that, we have given our answer in standard form. To obtain our answer in ordinary form, we just multiply by 10,000. So multiplying by 10,000, we have the solution of the problem to be 10,730. 10,730. We are to correct to 3 significant figures. So to correct to 3 significant figures, the first 3 significant figures in this number are 107, 107. So the remaining numbers, since 3 is not up to 5, they are going to be reduced to zeros. So we now have our answer as 10,700 to 3 significant figures. So we go to problem 2. So problem 2, we are to evaluate 5.21 to the power of 3 times square root of 0.891 using logarithm tables. So from here, we still organize our work in a tabular form. So we have the number and the log. We bring the two numbers here. Remember, we are going to write this in index form. That's 0.891 to the power of half. So I have 5.21 to the power of 3 times 0.891 to the power of half. We now find the logarithm of this, so and multiply by their powers. We multiply by these indices. So since this is a whole number, we just multiply by 3. But this one, since it is a fraction, we divide by the denominator. So we find the logarithm of 2.51. The integer part is going to be 0, because if you write this in standard form, the power of 10 is 0. So look for 52 under 1. There's no differences here. So 52 under 1 from the logarithm table gives 0.7168. Then we multiply by these 3. So multiplying by 3, from our calculator, we have it as 2.1504. Then we go to the second number. The integer part of this one is going to be -1. If we express this number in standard form, the power of 10 is going to be -1. So in logarithms, we don't write it as -1, we shall write it as bar 1. This bar 1 means the negative value is only affecting the integer part. It's not going to affect the decimal fractional part. So we look on to the logarithm tables for 89 under 1. 89 under 1 gives 0.5900. So we said because of this fractional index, we are going to divide by 2. Divide by what we have at the denominator. Assuming, for instance, the numerator is 3. So what we do is we multiply by 3 and then divide by 2. That's the method. But this is 1. So multiplying by 1 has no effect. So please take note of that. Then we now divide by 2. This is special division of numbers, because we can say 2 into bar 1 gives 0, remainder this, remainder that. No, since the negative is only affecting this integer part, so we are going to divide it specially. So let's go for the division here. That's about 1.5900 over 2. Here we look for multiple of 2. We place it under this bar. When we now add a whole number, positive whole number, it gives back bar 1. So the closest multiple of 2 here is 2 itself. So we have a bar 2. What number do we add to this bar 2 to give us bar 1? So bar 2 means minus 2. Minus 2 plus what will give us minus 1, which is bar 1. So minus 2 plus 1 gives minus 1. Therefore, bar 2 plus 1 will give us bar 1. Then we now follow with the remaining decimal fractional part. So that's 0.5900 divided by 2. So we can now go ahead and say bar 2 divided by 2 now is 1, no remainder. So we have it as 1. We can now say 1.5900 divided by 2. That's going to give us 0.7950. So adding this, we are going to have bar 1.7950. So the results obtained from dividing bar 1.5900 by 2 is bar 1.7950. So we come back here. This is multiplication. So because we are multiplying, we are going to add these values. So we add 4 plus 0 gives 4, and 0 plus 5 gives 5, and 5 plus 9 gives 14. So we write 4 and carry 1. 1 plus 7 gives 8, plus 1 we carry 9. So we place our point. 2 plus bar 1 means 2 plus negative 1, and 2 plus negative 1 becomes 2 minus 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So we have our answer as 1.9454. We go ahead to look for the anti-logarithm of this number. So the method of finding the anti-logarithm of 1.9454 is to keep this one. We now go to the anti-logarithm tables, look for 94 under 5 differences of 4. We look for 94 under 5 differences of 4. So we get 8818. Then we come back to the integer part. So immediately after the first digit, we place our decimal point times 10 to the power of this integer part. That's to the power of 1. So if we then write it in ordinary form, we are going to have our answer as 88.18. So from here we go to problem 3. Use logarithm tables to evaluate this number. So there we have power divided by this, and the whole thing is cube root. So we arrange our work in the tabular form again. The number, the log, we bring the numerator and denominator, that's with division. So 0.08341 squared divided by 243.8. So this cube root will be considered later. So we find the logarithm of this number. Finding the logarithm of this number 0.08341, we express it in standard form. That gives 8.341 times 10 raised to the power negative 2. So the negative 2 there is going to form the integer part of the logarithm of the number. So that will be bar 2. Go to 83 under 4 differences of 1 on the logarithm table. We have 0.9213. Here we multiply by 2. Multiply by 2. 2 times 3 gives 6. 2 times 1 gives 2. 2 times 2 gives 4. 2 times 9 gives 18. You write 8, carry 1, place our point. 2 times bar 2 means 2 times negative 2, which gives negative 4. And plus the one we carry, we have a negative 3. So 2 times bar 2 will give us bar 3. So we have bar 3 there. Now we go to the second number. That's 243.8. The integer part is going to be 2. So we have the 2 here. The decimal fractional part, we look at 24 under 3 differences of 8 from the logarithm tables. We have it as 0.3870. So again, this is division. We are going to subtract. Now subtraction, 6 minus 0 gives 6. Here 2. So we borrow 1 from here, making 12. 12 minus 7 gives 5. We are left with 3. 13 minus 8 gives 5. Here remaining 7 minus 3 gives 4. Place our point. Bar 3 minus 2. This means minus 3 minus 2, which gives minus 5. So we have our answer as bar 5 here. Then we go back to the roots. So this is cube root. So because it is cube root, if we express this in index form, we are going to have 1 over 3. So we now divide by 3. This is another special division of numbers. So we carry out the division here. This is bar 5.4556 over 3. We look for multiple of 3. Place it under this bar. So add a positive whole number, and it will give us back our bar 5. So the multiple of 3 that will do that is 6. So if we have bar 6, what number will you add to this? Bar 6 means minus 6. Minus 6 plus what will give us minus 5. So minus 6 plus 1 gives minus 5. So bar 6 plus 1 will give us bar 5. So we still have 0.4556 over 3. Then bar 6 divided by 3 now goes 2 times without remainder. So we have a bar 2. And now 1.4556 divided by 3 gives plus 0.4852. Adding this, we have a bar 2.4852. That's the solution to this problem here, bar 2.4852. We now look for the anti-logarithm of this bar 2.4852. So we keep this bar 2, go to the anti-logarithm tables, find 48 under 5 differences of 2. 48 under 5 differences of 2 gives 3055. We place our decimal point immediately after the first digit, multiply by 10 to the power of this bar 2, which means negative 2. So that's negative 2. So we'll now write it in ordinary form. Here we are going to divide by 100. 10 raised to power 2 is 100. So because of this negative, we divide. We move this point twice, 1, 2. So we are going to have 1 0 before 3. So the solution to the problem now will be 0.03055. That's the end of the solution to problem 3, and we'll say goodbye to this tutorial. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and share this video. Till we come your way again, goodbye.